celebrating the farm fresh food
This curry is called Massaman curry.
of Northern California.
Citrus salad, a really simple one.
Recipes you can use
A little salt, a little pepper,
from local chefs.
put a little bit of honey in there, a little bit of local honey.
Some of our favorite stops this year in a KCRA3 Farm to Fork special.
And all year, we've been going to some of the Sacramento area's most popular restaurants, learning from their chefs about how they make some of their favorite dishes. Thanks for joining us. I'm Lisa Gonzalez. And tonight, we'll show you some of those techniques that could set your dish apart. We start at Camden Spit and Larder.
On this week's Farm to Fork Friday, we're at Camden Spit and Larder with executive chef Oliver Ridgway, and citrus are in season right now. Of course, in the summer times, it's all about tomato, tomato, tomato.
It is.
But right now, it's about citrus.
It really is. You know, we do talk about the tomatoes, but Sacramento being the farm to fork capital, everything is in season when it's supposed to be. So we get citrus. And right now, I don't know if you've seen in your neighborhoods, there's oranges and grapefruits all over the place. So
I have so many lemons in my backyard, I don't even know what to do with them.
Well,
and oranges.
keep juicing. But for today, I really wanted to do a citrus salad, a really simple one. Around this time of year, you get lots of bitter greens, which are really complementary to citrus. And if you make a vinaigrette with citrus instead of vinegar, it's actually called a citronette. So we are going to do a citrus salad with a citronette with avocado. And I've got a little bit of cotija cheese here. You could use feta, but we're just going to assemble it. It's very simple, very good for you, and full of flavor. So I will go ahead and let's start with a vinaigrette. So the basis of a vinaigrette or a citronette are typically acid, fat. Mustard is an emulsifier. I like to put a little bit of honey in there, a little bit of local honey.
So we got mustard, honey.
Let's get that out. Come on, you can do it, you can do it. There it is. I've got juices of lemon and lime in here, so I'm going to put a little bit of that in there.
All right.
And I have this beautiful extra virgin olive oil from Sierra Orchards. And there we go. That's the simplicity of the vinaigrette. And then we're just going to emulsify that. And as you can see, that mustard is just bringing everything together. So now we have a good balance of fat and acid with that mustard that's created that vinaigrette consistency we want. Easy as that, so you don't need to buy store-bought anymore.
There you go.
All right.
We're done with the jars.
We are, so I'm just gonna throw these beautiful blood oranges. I've got cara oranges, grapefruits, some really beautiful
This is a great dose of vitamin C to try and beat the flu and the cold.
It's why it's all available, right? Some beautiful frisee here. So this is all part of the chicory family. These are part of, often known as endive. So we've got frisee, we've got California endive here, which is grown here and supplies a lot of the world. Our California endive industry is very big.
And are those bitter?
They are bitter. So all these lettuces are bitter. They survive the winter and they stay strong by producing this bitterness. So we're going to round out with a bit of this beautiful avocado here from our friends south of the border, but we're all connected, right?
My avocado tree is in bloom right now.
Is it really?
Yes.
Perfect.
Best avocados you ever had.
And now I've got this citrus vinaigrette or citronette. We're just going to put that all the way over the top.
I love that all the colors of the rainbow are in there.
All right. Now, just to kind of get it a little bit vibrant, we'll put some mint on there. Oh. So you can finish with cotija cheese. Like I mentioned, you use feta, ricotta salata, but it's just a really nice way to finish a salad. Salty, good complement to the citrus and the avocado and everything else on it.
It's a perfect citrus salad with a citronette dressing. That's your Farm to Fork Friday. Chef Oliver Ridgway, thank you so much for having us from
Great seeing
Camden.
you.
We're at Camden Spit and Larder.
Well, steak is a protein staple in the kitchen. The executive chef at the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino showed us how to make the perfect steak.
On this week's Farm to Fork Friday, we are in the kitchen with the executive chef for the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino and all their restaurants, Jared Davis. Thanks for joining us in the kitchen. You're going to show us how to make the best steak ever, right?
I think so, yes, absolutely.
So how do you start? Starts with picking the right meat, right?
Absolutely. For me, it starts with the right ingredients. There's nothing else you can do with the ingredients except for just make them worse, right? So you want to start with the best. And I just happened to find a ranch, a Wagyu ranch, 3 miles from the casino.
Really?
Yeah, it's just phenomenal beef.
Just outside Wheatland or in Wheatland?
It is in Wheatland.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, and what's the name of it?
The name is Yuba River Ranch. And I was, just up one night late, and I was going through the internet looking for ranches. I was looking for micro-grains, actually, and came across this. And emailed her, she called back, and we kind of hit it off. I went to the ranch, and I was, petted all the dogs and looked at the cattle, and we talked for, I don't know, half an hour. And she had some offers from some restaurants in San Francisco and decided to put everything on hold and partner with us. So this is the only place you can get it.
That's amazing. All right, so started with a really good piece of meat, and then how do you start to prepare it and cook it?
So normally, if I was doing like let's just say if I was doing a USDA prime, I'd have thyme in the pan, I'd have butter. I don't want to mask any of the flavor of the Wagyu fat. So I just do salt, pepper, and its own fat.
So you start with the Wagyu fat, because that's really the best, and you're using what kind of a pan? I
like to use a pan.
Cast iron?
I like to use a pan you can get really hot. Yes.
Yeah, and you like your cast iron.
I do. I love cast iron.
Okay. So you start with that fat, and then what do you do?
So if I don't have the tallow, I'll just take some of the fat from the trim after I get the subprimals, and burn that off in the pan a little bit, and kind of just at almost a smoke point, and then I will season one side of the Wagyu, just salt, just pepper. I use a little Maldon crystal salt, just Telecherry black pepper. Put it face down and let that cook for, maybe 90 seconds, a minute and a half.
Pro
Depends.
tip: put on your fan first, because it's going to get a little smoky.
Put on your fan, it gets smoky. Yeah, you want to set off smoke detectors.
Now you could also do this in your barbecue outside, right? You could put the
Absolutely.
cast iron inside your barbecue.
Yes. I do have plates on my barbecue at Council Oak. I actually have some plates coming that we're going to do these on specifically.
Okay, and then so about how long you cook it each side?
The first side, maybe 2, like I said, 90 seconds, depending on the thickness of the meat. But if you're high heat, you want to really sear, and resting is the most important part. You don't want to put a cold steak on a hot grill or a hot pan. You actually want it to rest out for a while. And that relaxes the fibers and makes it even more tender.
Okay.
And then resting at the end is important too. That's what a lot of people
So
don't
we've
do.
had this sitting here for a few minutes now,
Yeah.
and then how would you cut this and prepare this?
So because it is full-blooded Japanese Wagyu, raised in America, I like it blue. Some people don't like that, so I cook it a little longer, maybe a medium rare. I don't recommend anything over medium rare for Wagyu though.
All right, and then you just plate it just like this?
Yeah, and then we'll slice it down and send it out for guests to enjoy.
After you salt it, you can garnish it with some watercress and some shallots, and that's really the best Wagyu steak ever. That's this week's Farm to Fork Friday.
A family favorite and an easy weeknight dinner. Take a look at this recipe for baked rigatoni.
If you're wondering what to make for dinner tonight, well, how about baked rigatoni? We're inside the kitchen at the Grange Kitchen and Bar with Executive Chef Dane Blom. He's going to show us how to do this. Get it started right now so we've got a great dinner for later on, right?
Of course, yeah. So we're trying to do one-pot meals here, so I want to do something nice and easy. We're doing baked rigatoni. We have a nice chuck roast here, diced up, a little salt, a little pepper. It's diced up. We have mirepoix diced up as well, really fine. We're going to add it in to this pot.
What is that again?
This is mirepoix, which is onions, celery, and carrot.
Okay.
We're going to add it in there.
Okay.
We're going to put it over heat.
All right, like a medium heat.
We're going to medium heat. We're going to add some oil.
A little oil.
And we're going to kind of let it go for a minute. We let this cook together. As soon as it started to cook together and get some color, we would let it kind of cook down for a minute. And then we'd add red wine.
Okay. So red wine, a little oil, a little broth.
A little broth.
What kind of broth do you like to use?
We use chicken stock in all of our cooking. It's a neutral stock. It doesn't impart a ton of flavor. It just adds that like richness that you're looking for, and a little sage.
Sage.
Kind of the season
Looks like
for
that's
it.
fresh out of the garden.
Yeah, kind of the season for it. So you just let that cook until it came nice and down. That would be about 3-4 hours.
Okay, if you put that in a slow cooker.
Yeah, and it's slow cooker on the stovetop.
All right.
And then in about the last hour, you would add your rigatoni.
All right.
Which is right here. So you drop your rigatoni into that pot for the last hour, and it would kind of absorb that liquid and absorb all the meat sauce that kind of is made in that pot, in that one pot.
Okay.
And then as soon as that happens, we have some that's done right here.
That looks delicious.
Yeah, so you have this.
So that's after about 3 or 4 hours,
There's
and
about
again, add the rigatoni at
3
the
or
end.
4 hours. It's all cooked together. You have all the rigatoni that's cooked. And then here at the restaurant, what we do is we'd add some nice burrata cheese
So if you want to be fancy,
that we break over it.
break the burrata over it. That looks still delicious.
Grate some pecorino.
Little pecorino on top. That looks so good.
And then we just put it in the broiler.
As soon as the cheese is all melted, whether you put it in the broiler or the oven, it is ready to go, ready to eat. Baked rigatoni, and then you add a little olive oil on top.
Yep.
All right. And dinner is served. Dane Blom, Executive
Thank
Chef
you.
at the Grange Kitchen and Bar inside of the Citizen Hotel. Thank you so much. Back to you.
And after the break, a classic Italian dish using farm fresh ingredients will show you how to make salmon risotto. Welcome back, and thanks for joining us for our Farm to Fork special. Next, we head to Mandiers and Folsom for a delicious salmon risotto.
On this week's Farm to Fork Friday, we are in Folsom at Mandiers. It is a local favorite. It's been in the city for 18 years. At this location for 15. We've got the owner, Brent Whited, joining us. Thanks for having us. One of your specialties is risotto because you make it so many different ways, however people want it, fresh the way they want it. But the one that looks like it will be my favorite is this pesto risotto with salmon on top. How do you make that?
Now the salmon, well, we fresh cut our salmon a couple times a week, so we're constantly seem like we're constantly cutting fresh salmon. But the salmon's cooked off on the grill. Lots of, the standard cook-off with the plenty of lemon and things of that sort squeezed onto it to give it a nice flavor.
Right.
Salt and pepper, of course. The risotto itself, this one is a pesto. The risotto is par cooked down first so that we can process these things through the kitchen in a timely manner. But cooking it off, we put a little bit of garlic, oil, and the risotto into a small saucepan. It's cooked down, bring it up to heat, chicken broth, and heavy cream. Once that gets all the way to temperature, starts to cook down, we add our Parmesan cheese. And there's plenty of Parmesan cheese added to it to give it that
When
nice
in doubt,
cheesy.
add more Parmesan and
exactly.
butter.
We bring out that true Italian taste into it. From there, we add plenty of that pesto. And that pesto goes right in and stirred right into it. And right at that point, as soon as that temperature rises, after the addition of that pesto, it's presented onto the plate with the balsamic glaze and a little bit of oil to
balance out the balsamic.
Balance out the balsamic itself. The salmon is placed right on top, and from there you can see we put our greens, which is spinach and tomato mix, right onto the top of it. This is probably one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Also, just the pesto and that true blessing of Italian taste, I guess. Yeah, best way to put it.
And you have Italian, but you've got American fare here,
we
and
do.
everything's
We do
made
quite
to
a
order,
bit.
and it's a fun rock and roll theme here at Mandiers. Which,
well,
by the way, what does Mandiers mean?
It's the Latin verb to chew.
To chew. So
Yeah.
lots of chewing going on
Lot
here.
of- lot of
Brent Whited,
chewing.
thank you so
Definitely
much, the
pleasure.
owner of Mandiers. That's it for this week's Farm to Fork Friday.
Well, if you like pineapple on your pizza, you will love this next dish. We checked in with Woodland's Burger Saloon.
On this week's Farm to Fork Friday, we're in Woodland at the Burger Saloon, where they have more than 30 burgers on the menu. About 30 burgers on the menu. We're here with the executive chef and owner, Chris Lombardi. Thanks for having us back. You are famous for having very unique, tasty, healthy farm to fork burgers.
Yeah, all kinds. We do all kinds of proteins as well. We have a certified Angus beef featured here, but we do a chicken breast, a Beyond patty for the non-meat eaters. We do a portobello mushroom. We do a rotating exotic. It could be anything from wild boar, wagyu, camel, kangaroo, bison, whatever we can legally get and put on a bun, we'll try to serve it to you.
I do not know about the kangaroo, but I'm sure it's sold well. Okay, so you're going to show us how to make your crazy Hawaiian, right?
Yep.
And so tell us what's on this crazy Hawaiian and how you start it.
So the Crazy Hawaiian is is a take on another burger we had, the Maui Wowie. The Maui Wowie has like crispy onion strings and the grilled pineapple. This one we did our caramelized onion relish to give it a little bit of that sweetness. So
Let's start out with the burger. What kind of
so
beef
we're gonna
do
do
you
the
use?
certified Angus beef, 80/20.
And so when you're in the grocery store, what should you look for if you want to buy that?
You're gonna want to look for something that says either Angus beef or like Sterling Angus beef. Usually Angus proprietors usually use a whole muscle product with the ground beef.
And so you want to look for that
80/20.
20%.
We like 80/20 for our burgers. That first number is the like lean muscle
Right.
content number, and then the fat is the second number.
So when you're cooking this beef, what do you add to it? Just salt and pepper? Or?
just salt and pepper.
All right. And then so once it's cooked all the way through, how do you know when to flip it?
You know, by touch or by looking at it, you know, these are half-pound patties. Once they're starting to cook in the inside, from the top, you'll start to see, you know, that like the juices sweat to the top.
And that's
So
when
that's
you
telling you
flip
that
it.
the inside's starting to get to temperature.
Okay.
So then we flip it, cheese it. We like to cheese it when it's still cooking. That way all that moisture can stay underneath that lid.
That's a good
and keep
idea.
the juices in
So
there.
on the Crazy Hawaiian, you do the patty, and then what kind of cheese?
We do Swiss cheese, and then we do our grilled pineapple. We have Black Forest ham, the caramelized onion relish, and then a roasted garlic aioli.
Ooh, and how do you make that
Yeah.
roasted garlic aioli? I love a good aioli.
So we oven roast it like confit style in oil, which we drain and reserve, and we use the garlic oil to cook and make all of our other sauces. And then once the garlic cools, we mash it into a paste and blend it in with our mayonnaise, black pepper, and that's it. Pretty simple.
All right, the
and then
Crazy
our Wowie
Hawaiian.
sauce is our like house-made teriyaki sauce.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that sounds good.
Yeah, so that's
Crazy Hawaiian.
Crazy Hawaiian.
Just one of many burgers here at the Burger Saloon. You have another location in Davis called?
Outpost Burger. It's
right.
on 4th and G.
All right. Chris Lombardi, thank you so much
Thanks,
for
Lisa.
having us here. That's this week's Farm to Fork Friday.
Thai curry lamb chops, it might sound intimidating to make, but it's easier than you might think. We learned from the expert at Thai Basil in Midtown Sacramento.
On this week's Farm to Fork Friday, we're back at Thai Basil in Midtown Sacramento, where they focus on fresh, authentic, farm to fork food. So the menu here kind of changes a little bit. The executive chef and owner for the last 23 years, Suleka Sun Lindley. Thanks for having us back. You really do change the menu based on what's growing right now, right?
Thank you again for coming back. So we have a stable menu year-round, like the typical Thai dishes is like pad Thai, Dunkin' noodles, green curry, red curry. That's available year-round. But our seasonal menu change about 3 to 4 times a year. It all depends on what's available. And like this one that we are doing today is coming kind of from the last season. Is with potatoes, fennel, and then since it's still available, we continue to feature it.
Yeah.
And
so this is a lamb chop curry. How do you make this lamb chop curry?
So this curry is called Matsaman curry. It's not popular here in the state, but it's very popular in Thailand. Since I just got back from Thailand, I want to bring some of the dishes that is one of my favorite. So Matsaman is one of my favorite. It's kind of like influenced by Indian curry, served typically with grilled bread. And the lamb chop is kind of our own signature dish. Is that we like to add some kind of a little bit of some nice touch to the curry with the lamb chop. So the curry, so Matsaman curry is typically has a lot of clove and cinnamon to it, and we use the crinkling potatoes, fennel, and carrots, and simmering with a very thick curry and with peanuts and fried onions.
Ooh, that sounds so good, and it looks so good.
It's a very kind of savory curry. It got a little sweet and had a little bit of tamarind, which is a little bit of a tangy flavor.
And how do you
to it.
prepare the lamb chop?
The lamb chops, we marinate it in kind of 3 different soy sauce and a little bit of sesame oil.
Ooh, that sounds delicious. Okay, and then you just marinate it all together and top it with a little coconut milk?
Yes.
It looks
And fried
delicious.
onions.
And fried onions. Suleka, thank you so much for having us. That's this week's Farm to Fork Friday from Thai Basil in Midtown Sacramento along J Street.
Risotto 2 ways. When we come back, we'll go back to Menderes for a steak risotto recipe. Well, the cold weather lately calls for some serious comfort food. We go back to Menderes to learn how to make some steak risotto.
On this this week's Farm to Fork Friday, we are at Mandare's in Folsom. It's a locally owned restaurant. It's been in Folsom for 18 years, at this location for about 15, right? And the owner, Brent Whited, joins us. Thanks for having us.
Thank
this is
you.
a local
appreciate it.
favorite here.
Yeah,
Trying to get here for a while.
Yeah, it's been a while, no question about it, but we're having fun. No question.
Yeah, it is farm to fork food here, and everything made fresh, made to order. And one of their specialties is risotto. It's an Italian rice, and like rice, it kind of takes on whatever personality you want to give it,
Exactly.
right? And you can get it several ways here at Mandare's, but right now you're going to show us how you make your risotto with steak, right?
The steak itself is a marinated steak. Most of our steak and different meats, we marinate a lot of it off of more of a Korean style. And the meat is cooked to order. This one was done at about a medium. The risotto itself is your standard risotto base. All of our risottos are Parmesan, pretty much a Parmesan base.
So you're going to boil that in like a broth, right?
It is, and what we par cook it based on being we have to get it through the kitchen.
Chicken broth, heavy cream.
Butter,
Lots of butter,
garlic. You've got just multiple things that are going to bring the flavors into
so
it.
for this risotto, you also added some mushroom to it,
We
right?
did.
Along
This one
with
is
a lot
a
of
mushroom.
Parmesan.
With the steak, we do the mushroom, and then from there, it's a matter of lots of Parmesan. It is, and from there we do add a spinach and tomato mix that just to garnish, and something good to just kind of break it up and give you a little additional flavor.
It looks good. The steak risotto here at Mandare's, which by the way is Latin for to chew.
To chew, it
All right.
is.
Thank you so much for having us. That's this week's Farm to Fork Friday. And hopefully you learned some great chef secrets. That's it for our Farm to Fork special. I'm Lisa Gonzalez. Thanks for joining us.